Hello, everyone. Welcome to this workshop, Grief Without a Farewell, a workshop to face changes and losses in life. I am Victoria Uriarte, creator of your Help Your Future campaign. And today I want to start saying that I am so happy to be here to talk to you. And I hope that you have the confidence to ask if you have any question. I want you to feel comfortable in this workshop. If you have any question, if you want to talk about something, if you want to talk about your feelings or express yourself, you're totally free to do or to ask anything you want. So this is how I'm going to start this. First of all, I want you to know how it's going to be this workshop, the description of this workshop. We want to learn to cope with pain and loss. The workshop on Grief Without a Farewell is a space to find comfort, understanding, support, and guidance to develop skills in coping with the loss of loved ones or ties and for the reestablishment of the life project. However, proper coping with this type of loss doesn't affect everyone in the same way. Therefore, it is possible to identify individuals to whom the experience of grief can affect them significantly, either because there are difficulties in accepting the loss, regulating in the emotion, the triggers in readjusting the life project, and many other reasons. And if these difficulties persist and are not adequately addressed, there is a risk of developing problems such as depression, chronic anxiety, which will significantly deteriorate the quality of life of ourselves, of the person who has lost someone they love. And this is why I want to talk about the objectives of this workshop. I want you to see, or the workshop seeks that young people acquire skills and strategies to cope with and elaborate the grieving process caused by the loss of a loved one. To achieve this purpose, it is sought that each participant can accept the reality of death of loss of your loved one, processing the thoughts, emotions, feelings, and behaviors that have manifested as a result of the loss, establish alternatives to readjust to a new life after the loss, and maintain a bond with the deceased loved one that allows the development of the personal life project. So, the first point that we're going to see in this workshop is the pain, the sadness, and your mental health. This is a quote that I really like. That is, those who love us never leave us. They will always be in our hearts. A year ago, our lives changed drastically from one day to the next. The world has involved in a pandemic that kept us in quarantine for almost 1 year. Who would think it? People took it in different ways. Many at first saw it as a time to rest. However, there were people who didn't have the possibilities of staying in their houses, like young people had to adapt to virtual education and new routines. And although some remained healthy, many of us deal with great uncertainty and suffered the worst that could happen to someone. This is the big losses, the death of a loved one, the loss of a job, or the need to abandon the lifestyles that we love. I know that many young people have suffered a lot about this because um, many of them have lost their loved ones, and I know this is very difficult for young people because many times you don't know how to deal with pain. With all these factors, many of you may be experiencing sadness and pain. Over time, these painful emotions can surface and affect the ability to live a normal life. And the first point that we need to talk about is to know about the reason of pain. Grief is the psychological process we face after losses, something that all of us, sooner or later, will experience through life. By definition, the loss of any object or attachment causes grief, although the intensity and the characteristic of this can vary greatly depending on the degree or emotional attachment to the object. the nature of the loss and the way of being and the previous history of each person. Every person has many reasons to feel pain. There are many reasons that we need to understand before trying to understand the person who's suffering. So I want you to know the difference between grief and sadness. We all know what it feels like to be sad. We know what is to be sad. Sadness is a very natural emotion, and it is usually in response to some events in our lives. Believe it or not, feeling sad can be positive. Sadness can help us through tough times. Unfortunately, if sadness lasts too long, it can lead to depression, and this is something bad. Like sadness, grief is a natural reaction to the loss of someone or something significant to us. But unlike sadness, pain is not particular feeling. Pain can make you feel angry, sad, helpless, bitter, anxious, or even sleepy. Pain can take over your brain and become overwhelming, which can lead to depression or physical problems. We know that our physical health is very close to our mental health. So if we don't take care of our mental health, in some way, we are going to be like our physical state is not going to be very good. So it's important to take care of both of them. And this is why I'm going to talk about the mental health. It is very important to take care of it. So if we're talking about grief, we need to know what are the phases of grief. What are the phases after losing someone? Your feelings can happen in phases as you become to terms with your loss. You cannot control the process, but it helps to know the reasons behind your feelings. All people experience pain differently. So we're going to like try to understand what are these phases, and there are like 5. The stage 1 is denial. When you learn of a loss, it is normal to think this is not happening. You may be shocked or numb. This is a temporary way to deal with the flood of overwhelming emotions. It's like a defense mechanism. The anger is stage 2. As reality settles, you are faced with the pain of your loss. You may feel frustrated and helpless. These feelings then turn into anger. It can direct you toward other people and higher power or life in general. It is also natural to be angry at a loved one who died and left you alone. In the stage 3, we're going to be like bargaining. During this stage, you reflect on what you could have done to avoid the loss. Common thoughts are like, if only or what if. These are normal questions that we start asking ourselves after losing someone. And you can also try to come to terms with a higher power. In the fourth stage, we have depression. Sadness sets in as you begin to understand the loss and its effect on your life. Signs of depression include crying, trouble sleeping, and decreased appetite. You may feel overwhelmed, regret, and lonely. It's important to take care of yourself in this stage. I know that it's very difficult when you lose someone. It's like you start like thinking what's going on, and it's difficult to accept that. And in this stage is where we need to take care more of ourselves. Depression is something that can affect any people, especially I'm talking about young people. So depression is, it starts like feeling lonely, crying, decreasing appetite, and these feelings are important because they in some way demonstrate how you're feeling. So it's important if you feel like sad in a higher way, you need to ask for help. And we will be talking about this like later. And now I'm going to talk about the fifth stage, that is acceptance. In this final stage of grief, you accept the reality of your loss. It cannot be changed. Even though you still feel sad, you can start moving on with your life. Acceptance is the last part of the phases of grief, and it's very difficult. I in my daily life, I have seen many people who have lost the loved ones, and I can say that it's very difficult to accept that they're not here anymore. Many times people say that you take these people in your heart, but sometimes it's difficult to understand that. However, uh, in this phase is where we start healing, and this is what we are going to talk about next: how to start healing. Taking care of your physical health is reflected in your emotions. Adding simple and healthy habits such as drinking more water, eating healthier, exercising, or trying to sleep more at night can have a positive effect on your mood. Another thing to start healing is try to live your life. It is important to remember the things you used to do and what made you happy. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do in your free time? Even if you don't feel well, going for a walk, reading a book, or watching your favorite movie can bring you some joy. Allow yourself to be happy. And the third point, we have seek support from your family and friends. It's important that although grieving is a personal process, seek understanding and the company of someone close to you, especially if you feel lonely. Don't be afraid to share your feelings and connect with others. It's better to express how you feel. It's better for you, for your mental health, for healing and feeling better. And the last point is be patient with the process. There is no schedule for pain. For some people, the pain can last a long, long time, especially if it is due to the death of someone close. In fact, you may never completely get over it. Listening to a song or remembering an event, anniversary, or maybe a birthday or something special that you had with that person can make your pain more intense, even if you thought you were over it. But over time, the pain lessens. It may take years for the pain of grieving to go away completely. It is important that to understand that sometimes a part of accepting that this person is not here anymore is understanding that you're going to remember, and it's okay to remember, because in this way we know that these people still living in our hearts. But here, this is the most important point of this workshop, is to talk about if we need professional help. In some cases, the pain doesn't improve. You may not be able to accept the loss, and it is okay. Doctors call this complicated grief. This is why I want us to begin to normalize the search for professional help when we need it. And if you feel that you have difficulty to maintaining your normal routine, such as going to work and cleaning the house, or even getting up of the bed, if you feel that you have feelings of depression, thoughts that life is not worth living or getting hurt, or any inability to stop blaming yourself, it's important to search for help. A therapist can help you explore your emotions. They can also teach you coping skills and help you manage your pain. If you are depressed, a doctor may be able to prescribe medicine to help you feel better. And please remember not to demand too much of yourself. It's okay if you feel sad. You have every right to be sad. Scream, cry, but don't keep what you feel. Express it. If you are having difficulties with your pain, or you don't know how to deal with sadness, or you feel like you may be depressed, we can help you. Contact our behavioral health team at 591-3016-5981, and you need to know that we are here for you, and we want you to grow up healthy in body, mind, and spirit. We want you to help to those people your age that are going through a difficult time of losing someone they loved, or losing any friend, or especially like losing someone. Show them that you love them and don't leave them alone. This is very important. It is important to express that we love them and we are there for them. Remember that actions can do more than words. Thank you for being part of this workshop. We invite you to find more about our campaign at our social networks. You have these here. And also we have here the number if you want to talk with someone. If you need something, just call and we will be here for you. This is all. I hope you like it. See you next time.